Good morning and welcome back to my Flosstube. My name is Lizzie and I'm here on YouTube as Lizzie Fisher, I think, and on Instagram as this Mrs. Fisher _stitches. Welcome if you're new here, and thank you for coming back if you're coming back. I've got a few things to show you, not very much. I've had last weekend I didn't do any stitching. If you're new here, this is a video about cross stitching. Can't remember if I've said that. So yeah, I didn't do much last weekend. We had a massive clear out of a lot of stuff and it left me quite exhausted. However, I have had a finish. I didn't start it since the last video, but I've had it going on at work. It's a massive finish I've been doing at work in my free time. Not free time. I don't get free time at work, maybe the odd lunch break and during meetings when my camera can be off, because I concentrate better if I've got something going on in my hands. I tend to get less distracted. So here is my big finish. Are you ready? It's fully finished. It's in frame and everything because I had one ready for it. Ta-da! It's a cute little... Did I show this last time? No, I showed you my graduation bear last time. This is a... Oh, I've forgotten the name of the company again. Little Mouse Designs. Cute little dragon. If I put it in front of me, it might, but then you've got the screen glare. Anyhow, Little House, no, not Little House, Little Mouse Designs kit. And I started at work, finished it the other day. I bought this frame from Lisa at Atelier Framing from when we went up to Rotherham the other week. I like little frames like this because they're perfect for these mill hills. Not mill hills, little mouses. Mouse Loft. Oh, I've really got to find the name of the company now. Mouse Loft Designs. It's not even designs, it's just Mouse Loft. It's not even early morning, it's about 8:10. I've cleaned the bathroom top to toe and everything. Hence why my nails are a bit scabby. If you see them, they need doing on Thursday. I've got an appointment. So anyway, I'm just a bit grumpy I didn't frame it straight, but there we are. That's what happens when you're excited and you leave things. I mean, cutting it out was an interesting idea, but it wasn't centered in the frame, so it wouldn't on the fabric, so it wouldn't have sat nicely in the frame. So there we are. He sits on my shelf up by my desk upstairs. So, how you doing? The world's a bit crazy. And I think stitching helps me and hopefully helps you switch off from a lot of the crazy. I'm just flipping through my book down here to find out what I've been doing since I last made a Flosstube. Okay, I haven't made my biscornu, which I showed you last week, and I'm probably not going to make it into a biscornu because fortnight ago, because the edges aren't the same size, same number of stitches, but not the same number of centimetres. So I don't know. I'll probably just turn it into a cushion. The day after I filmed the Flosstube last time, I finished something else that's quite big, but I haven't finished it because it's got a lot of backstitch. So I've finished all the X's, unless anyone with a beady eye sees one I haven't crossed, on the Adventure House. Quite like this to be my logo, my thumbnail, please, YouTube. So I've done all the X's. I finished in this bottom corner. And I've started doing the back stitch. I'm doing like, when I pick it up, I do like 6 threads of back stitch because it's just one thread. So I do one length, 6 threads worth. It's going to take a while, but we're a step closer, Erica. The X's are X'd. And look, this tree has got all its back stitch. I mean, none of it is in the right place because I don't think the tree's quite accurate to the pattern. But the back stitch on the lady dangling is all good. She's just floating at the moment with all her back stitch done. Most of her back stitch done. Yep, we'll get there. We'll get there. So that is a finish of crosses, but not of stitches. and I'll just roll it back up and put it in its bag so that I don't spill anything on it, because that's my biggest fear now, is that that gets ruined. So it lives in there. So I finished all the X's on that, then I finished my little dragon, which I've showed you, and then I moved on to my other Smalls Exchange gift for Stitch North. Excuse me, I'm just going to have some squash. I've been up a while, but I have only just come downstairs. I've been cleaning the bathroom. It's made me quite thirsty. So, sorry for any crinkling. Let me just find the front cover. So, my Smalls Exchange gift is going to be A Token of Love by Whilst Iris Naps. A Token of My Love by Whilst Iris Naps. I'm not doing it on the spool. I do have a spool, but I think I might stitch it again for me to go on the spool, although I have something else in mind for the spool. I've said spool quite a lot, haven't I? Instead of doing it on the spool, I have decided to do it as a little pin drum, little drum. So last time I showed you the top. Let me give you some reference on its size, other than my big head. Here's a little tea light. So it's quite diddy, and I've started the side. I started up here, but I got the pattern wrong, so I got grumpy and just moved it back down. So it's going to be about that tall, I reckon. And the pattern is 8 of this pattern. So I've done nearly to halfway along the top, then I've got to repeat it and then go again. So I think I'll have enough room. So that's 1/1 on 56 count, which is a challenge, but not a displeasurable challenge. I'm enjoying it, but I have to be in the right frame of mind and also remember that it exists and I need to work on it. I have to wear my magnifying headset thing to be able to stitch on it, which makes me look silly, but most people have seen me looking silly, so it's okay. Certainly my family have. So, day after that, I thought I'd better get on with my group stitch along piece for when we go to Canada. My friends Leslie and Fiona and me are going to Canada. We're going to Stitch North twice because we're like that. But if you're flying that way, you might as well get the most out of it. And so because we're spending a couple of days in Toronto, we're stitching together a Pretty Little Toronto. And when I say together, we all started it at a similar time. Well, Leslie and I started it at a similar time, and Fiona started it a bit later. Leslie and Fiona are finished. This is what it's going to look like. Hopefully I've got a photo that I can show you of what it looked like last time I videoed for comparison, because I think I've worked quite hard on it. There are a couple of trailing threads, I'm afraid, because that's life. They're sort of marking the place of where they go next. And this is where I am now. So I've finished the top left corner and I've gone down to the bottom left corner. So this marks the bottom of the chart. And I think I've done quite well. Got that cloud in at the top, got the CN Tower. I need to make the mast of the CN Tower, but that's on the other side of the page, so I haven't done it yet. It's really bright, but I don't think these are my colours. I'm enjoying the stitching process, but I don't understand the pattern at all. That's all I'll say on it. I think if it was pinks and purples, I'd probably have a better time. But that's just me, and it'll be a nice memento of our trip. Here are all the threads for that, all carded up. Carded, floss dropped. See, I'm sure you were all screaming at the telly saying it's a floss drop, Lizzie, it's a floss drop. Those are all the colours. And I'm stitching that 2/2. on 16 count Rustico with the called for DMC. And I want to tell you about my needle I'm using. Did I tell you about my needle I'm using last time? I probably did because I love it. It's a ball tipped needle. So it's got a literal ball shaped bit on the end of the needle. It goes into a point and then it sort of bulbs out again. I love it for Ada. I think it's the most wonderful thing in the world. It sort of helps you find the holes a lot quicker. So there we go. I'm doing a lot more stitching in hand. I haven't used my Lowry frame for ages. Even on 56 count, I'm doing in hand. I don't know why. I can't use a frame at the moment. It just doesn't feel right. Just looking through my little diary of what I've stitched on. So after all the moving, and I mean, we've had a huge sort out. There's this area of the room here used to be where my sewing machines, my fabric, my wool, everything lived there. It's now got a massive exercise bike in it because apparently we need to lose weight. I don't disagree. I just don't like the fact that, anyway, lots of stuff has moved, lots of stuff has left the building, and it was quite stressful. So I picked out, when I was tired and achy, because also moving everything was quite stressful for my body. When I was tired and achy, there's birdies in the tree, I got out an Old Faithful. I got out Fruit of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I don't know where it was before, but this is where it is now. I do love it and wish it was finished. Isn't it fab? I will work on that some more at some point, no doubt. It's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I love the colours I chose by accident. And yeah, it's got all the birds on it. So there we are. I worked on that on Valentine's Day. Oh yeah, so Valentine's Day was spent. So lots of people probably had a lovely quiet evening with their loved ones or with their friends doing, you know, nice looking after each other. No, we were hunking furniture around and sorting bags for charity shops. And in a minute I've got to go to another charity shop because there's a shop near us that it's a charity shop, but they specialise in craft stuff. So I've got like a bag of leather remnants and some fabric, dressmaking fabric I'm never going to get around to using, that was given to me, so I'm giving it on, and just bits and bats. And so, but they weren't open on the Sunday of last weekend, so I couldn't get rid of it then. So I'm going to do that next after this. So yeah, that was Valentine's Day according to my diary. Then the Saturday and Sunday, no stitching at all. On the Monday, I went back to Pretty Little Toronto because I had quite a long meeting with my camera off, so I filled in the cloud in that meeting. That's when I was doing that. And then the Tuesday, I was so tired. When I go into work, now I'm doing it 2 days in a row, it tends to wipe me out on the second day. Oh, and I gave myself food poisoning. Don't eat unwashed vegetables straight out of the packet, people. I thought I'd be healthy. Instead of, because I was hungry, instead of buying a bag of crisps or something like that, or some sweets to drive home with, I bought a bag of tiny baby sweet corn, you know, like look like octopus tentacles, that's what I call them. And I opened them and ate them. By the time I got home, oh my gosh, I was so poorly. Don't do that. Wash your vegetables and your fruit, people. I'm never eating a vegetable again. I think that's the moral I've learned, lesson I've learned. Don't eat vegetables. So, on the Wednesday, when I was feeling a bit brighter in the evening, I stitched a little bit more on Baldwin's Birdies. I've done all of this top bit. Oh no, I hadn't. Yeah, this is new, this bit here. And I finished off this shape. Pomegranate? No. Persimmon? I don't know. Oh, I just love it. Look at the colours. I feel so grown up when I look at this one. It's like a grown-up project, isn't it? Sensible stitches on sensible fabric is beautiful. Beautiful fabric. So this is being stitched 1/2 on 36 count Heartfield Moss by Swan Bay Fabrics that I was so lucky to have won in a raffle. Thank you, Marie, for this. I love it, and I hope I'm doing it justice. Actually, no, I know I'm doing it justice because this project is just beautiful. Mental note to self, work on that some more. Which is why I don't like stitching to a deadline. I'm not doing sales with friends because then they get grumpy after this Toronto one, because they get grumpy that I don't finish them in time. But I like to stitch on what I like to stitch on when I want to stitch on it. Does that make sense? Then on Thursday, I had a bit of a crisis of faith. Not crisis of faith. Crisis of faith in myself. Like a crisis of confidence, I suppose. And so I started a new project, because that's always going to pick you up, isn't it? And I've started it on another of my Swan Bay fabrics. I'm using Highbury Gold, 36 count. And it's Modern Folk Embroidery Yola Koturin. I don't know how to say it. It's the cat with the 3 borders. And I'm stitching it 1/2 on the 36 count Highbury Gold in sulky 12 weight colour 1, 2, 3. Is it really 1, 2, 3, 4? In colour 1, 2, 3, 4, which is brown. I think there's a bit of variation on it, but if not, it looks so nice on the fabric. So here's my start. I've gone all the way across the top. It looks quite wide. My friend Adita has stitched this and had hers on display at the brag table in Rotherham, and mine looks well bigger than hers, and she said hers was on 36 count, so I'm confused. And that's what I've done. The first bit of the first border. Yeah, I can't wait to see it finished. I think this colour is perfect for it. And again, sensible stitching, but fun, because I love, it's just one colour. I can do one colour quite happily, as long as I've got lots of other one colours to switch to when I get bored. Oh my gosh, that's all my stitching. That was really quick. I've had a little bit of shopping that I'm prepared to show you. I bought 2 charts since I last saw you. I don't always show my shopping because I forget. 2 charts since I last saw you. I'm just going to quickly open them because, oh, they're already open, that's fine. Just take the front cover out so that you don't get any glare. The first one is Moggy Manor. I had intended to stitch this for a friend, and then I was talking to Kerry at Roxy Flosstube, and she's like, that's quite a gift. Is it too much of a gift? So I'm going to a friend's wedding, you see, and I thought that would be quite nice with their surname at the bottom, and then, or their names and the date they got married, maybe. Their names either side and the date they got married. I'll be stitching it on some Swan Bay fabric, and I'm going to get the thread pack when I go over to Canada, from because Evertotes have done a conversion to Roxy Flosstube, so I'm going to buy that there. And then the other one I bought is also a blue flower chart, which I want to stitch for a family friend who's 94 this birthday coming. I want to make her a little cushion. It says, where is heaven? Is it not just a friendly garden plot? And then the poem continues, walled with stone and roofed with sun, where the days pass one by one. And she does have a walled garden, or a bit of her garden is walled. So I think that would be a beautiful thing to stitch for her. So I just need to get it kitted up and get it going. I've got some even weave, some Zweigart even weave, a similar colour to this. So I'll probably just, well, not just do it on that, I probably will do it on that. I don't know whether to change the raccoon, is this a raccoon, for a cat somehow. Or maybe there's one in Moggy Manor I could switch it out for. Yes, because we don't have raccoons in England, I could switch this raccoon for one of these two cats, but make it ginger because she had a ginger cat. She hasn't anymore. She had a ginger cat. I will do that. Oh, exciting, exciting. So those are to start. And here is another thing. This is kind of haul. I bought it from Jess when I went down to the Bristol Stitching Day. She was destashing some magazines. And it's a gorgeous beetle. Look at that. Those are such beautiful colours. Now, years ago, when I started watching Flosstubes, somebody was talking about the beetle cell. And I was like, oh, I want to get into a beetle cell. I want to stitch beetles. I thought they meant beetles. But no, they're meaning the like the Yellow Submarine chart and the Eleanor Rigby charts and Strawberry Fields. And I can't remember who they're by. They were talking about that. I'm going to do my own beetle cell, but with a double E, not a B-E, not spelled B-E-A-T, double E, beetles, because this is just gorgeous. And beetles are wonderful things. They do lots of good stuff for the world. So there we are. Oh, and something else I want to start. You may think I'm insane, but I bought this Bothy kit a while back. It is called Jeweled Peacock. And I don't have a peacock on the go because I finished my peacock, so I thought I'd start this one. Now, the kit, because Bothy charts come as kits, comes with all the thread, all carded up, ready to go, but also a hang of this. So the background is obviously stitched. However, I've got this piece of Fabrics by Kate, I think it is. Yes, by Fabrics by Crafty Kate, which is quite similar colour. So I'm going to do it on that. And my friend Fiona very timely sent me a link to some. Have you heard of Pip and Chip? They make the. If I said that right, Pip and Chip. Just says P and C on the front. I think I've said it right. They make the inserts and thick bobbins for like Bisley drawers and things. Well, they've made a set of floss drops. I know they're floss drops now from last week. Thank you. With all the codes, like the symbols that Bothy use, because they only ever use the same set of symbols. So they've made a set of floss drops. I bought those because these cards, when I did my sister's, the card just fell to pieces when I did her the Adventure House. The card just falls to pieces, so I'm going to put these onto these. I might do that later when we watch the rugby. And then I can stitch my peacock on this beautiful fabric without having to do the background. How cool is that going to be? So yes, I am getting all the starts in because I own it. I might as well start it. Might as well get some fun out of it. My mum takes the mickey a bit about how many starts I have. My husband thinks I'm just bonkers. I don't think he likes how much space it takes up in the house. Life's hard. He'll get over it. So yeah, I think that's about me. So next time I see you, hopefully my sister might be coming over next weekend. Hopefully she is, to film a whip parade. Because I thought it'd be nice to have somebody else's opinion on my whips, whether I should finish them, whether I should continue, which order I should prioritise. But if I ask her for which order I prioritise, I won't do that because I don't like being told what to do. Not in stitching terms. Stitching is I can do what I want because this is my fun thing. So yeah, maybe I won't ask her what, but it'd be nice to have a bit of feedback, won't it? I asked my husband to do it and he was like, I really don't want to. I think the undertone to that was I really don't care. But that's fine. He just looks at them and says, yeah, that's pretty. I mean, I could stitch a great big poo. Sorry. He would still say, yeah, that's pretty, is what I'm saying. I probably should have termed that right. Had a trigger warning, maybe. Yeah. Anyhow, I'll let you get on with your day. This is going to be quick to edit. It's going to be perfect. I'll get this up, go to the charity shop, probably come home with more stuff than I need, because I don't need anything. And I will see you when I see you. Hopefully next week there'll be a whip parade. Cool beans. Take care.